You ever just feel like, what's the point? Not in a terrible way, not in a way where you want to end your life or something, but in a way where you kind of just want to lay in your bed, stare at the ceiling, maybe contemplate existence for a bit, go for a walk, and you don't really want to be consistent with anything? Now, I know this is a trap. You will never accomplish anything if you actually act this out, but some days I wake up and I really don't see a point in pushing forward. I kind of want to meander. I want to maybe read a book slowly, not quickly and rapidly, but just kind of chill while reading. Enjoy it. Absorb the words slowly. I want to go for a nice slow stroll outside with my dog. Nowhere to be, really, but simply enjoying where I'm at. To me, this isn't a depressing thing. It used to be at one point, maybe, but some days it's hard to see the point in the grind. You get up, you do things you don't want to do all day long, and you just hate everything. That's really what American culture is. It's about the grind. It's about doing things you don't want to do for the next 40 years and then finally being able to retire and watch TV. Because you don't really like anything anymore, because everything you've done in your life are things you don't want to do. You don't want to get up at 3 in the morning to go to work, but you do it anyway. And you're depressed deep down, in a sense. You're worn out. You don't want to keep this stupid game going, but you do anyway. Why? I don't know. Maybe you have a lifestyle to keep up. Maybe you have kids and a wife and a big $80,000 truck and an SUV worth 60 grand and a $500,000 house that you're in debt for. That's most people's lives. So you can't just take a day off to navel gaze, to go for a stroll, to enjoy the sun with your dog. Nah. No, that's not, you don't have an option. You don't have a choice. And even I, to some degree, am in that position. All of us are that work a job because, you have to make that money to some degree, even if your lifestyle is really low, which is what I have done for myself. I've kept my, expenses as low as possible, and it's nice. It allows you to be able to even do things like travel. If you have, $2,000 a month that you don't need coming in and you just save it, then, every once in a while you can do things or you can take more days off. You don't necessarily need to go to work every day, and that's nice. That's nice. And part of me wants to do the whole 9 to 5 rat race thing. I go back to school, I get an advanced degree eventually, I make a bunch of money, but for what? Really the point of it? I guess to have kids, to have a bigger crib, to have more money. I don't know. And also, you could do some cool shit. I mean, if you go into something that you have some level of interest in, then, I mean, that's good. For sure. I don't know, some days you want to chill out. And not in a illusory way. I mean, you could look at it that way if you want. I guess it maybe is. You do have to build things in order to even be able to get to that point. To a degree, you have to get enough income coming in a way that you enjoy to live your life, to still have money to do things. I don't think anybody wants to just rot in their bed the whole time. That's not what I'm saying. It's too bad, you gotta put in all this effort. Say you can buy things that you don't necessarily need. Maybe you think you want them, but once you have them, you realize, it's just kind of normal after a while. You don't look at that big nice truck and think to yourself, wow, I'm so lucky to have that. No, you just hop in that bitch and drive wherever you're going, like you would if you're driving a 1990s Honda Civic. It's just normal. Same with that house. I don't know. Maybe it's just the wrong way to live. But let me know what you think in the comments down below, guys. Peace out.